In case you missed it, and honestly, fair, here's what you need to know. Takudo, a terminally ill dude with all the charisma of a library fine, dies and wakes up in an isekai. But not just any isekai, he gets dropped into a dark fantasy world as the supreme overlord of a civilization literally named Mynogra. And yes, that sounds like a metal band that sells cursed merch. He's not alone, though. His second in command is named Ato, a half-war goddess, half-waifu, full-time fan service machine who can kill you and look hot doing it. Together, they're building their empire the only way anime knows how, through farming, making sad people cry, and committing vague atrocities off-screen. We've already conquered some traumatized elves via hugs and vegetables, built tree houses that double as cozy evil bunkers, and discovered the MVP of this show, flesh trees. Yeah, they talk, bleed meat, and sound like someone's cursed D&D homebrew gone wrong. We open on a fancy-looking cavern, clearly carrying someone important, and you can tell because the people in it are wearing hats dumb enough to qualify as fashion statements. Enter Soalina, a saint from the Holy Kingdom of Qualia, which is just the Vatican if the Pope could throw fireballs and cared about landscaping. Unfortunately, her quiet little trip is rudely interrupted by some goblins with a combined IQ of a sack of potatoes and the face to match. Of course, they think attacking a saint is a good idea because this is anime and dumb NPCs are part of the starter pack. One explosion and several flambéed goblins later, Soalina's basically turned the forest into a vegan barbecue. We also learn she has a bit of a gardening kink because she literally flowers the ashes after torching goblins like it's part of her post-battle skincare routine. Add that to her resume under spiritual arsonist with aesthetic goals. Anyway, Saint Soalina wants to send her paladins to investigate the Dark Continent, aka Takudo's new evil Disneyland. Naturally, the old men running the church are like, "No thanks, girl boss, go back to being decorative." He even drops the classic line, "You're not a young village girl anymore," which is just medieval code for, "We don't trust women with swords and opinions." But Soalina's not here to listen to grandpas. She's packing up her sparkly armor and taking her holy squad into the cursed woods anyway. Because if the church won't do it, she'll handle it herself like the saintly anime waifu she is. Meanwhile, in the magical hellhole of Minogra, Takudo is out here living his best evil overlord life. And by that, I mean he's basically on a glorified field trip, checking in on elf laborers who are building infrastructure like they're on a DIY home makeover show. They even gave his throne a cushy upgrade. No more royal wedgies for our king. Ato, meanwhile, is handling the actual military planning like the competent queen she is. She's spearheading the summoning of a hero, which sounds wholesome until you realize it's for their evil army. Yep, in this world, even the term hero has been patched and repurposed like a broken item in an MMORPG. Oh, and in case you're wondering about logistics, the entire summoning ritual is based on a happiness meter and how much magical juice your kingdom's got stored up. It's basically the IRS but for mana. Back to Elf World, King Takudo introduces the elves to Agriculture 2.0, courtesy of the cursed tech tree. The MVP returns, flesh trees, and this time, they're being cultivated with love and gardening tools that look like they were ripped straight out of a sci-fi gacha game. One tree literally thanks Emle, the nerdy elf, for taking care of it, which is adorable if you ignore the part where it's literally a meat-producing tree that probably screams when you harvest it. Between cursed water that buffs evil people and penalizes the pure of heart, and talking trees that double as butchers, it's hard to tell if this kingdom is advancing or just becoming increasingly nightmare-fueled. Either way, Takudo's all in, and honestly, same. But hey, no time for relaxation because news of Minogra is spreading fast, and not in a, "Hey, this place has great Yelp reviews" kind of way. Soalina's paladins are officially en route to check out the rising evil empire, which is definitely not going to turn into a diplomatic tea party. On the other side, we finally meet Lonius, a smug elitist paladin who looks like he read every book on military strategy and is dying to tell someone about it. He's tagging along with Soalina's investigation force, mostly to flex and pretend he's not totally freaked out about the rumors surrounding Minogra. We also learn about their stakes. If you succeed, the Congress gives you a gold star. If you fail, you're now under Paladin, which sounds like a medieval way of saying demoted to intern. As this fancy expedition is gearing up, Takuto's little demon kingdom is going full Sim City. They've got food, water, a military that's just Ato soloing boss fights anymore. There are talks to even build a floating palace, because why not toss in a flex when your throne finally stops stabbing you in the ass? Now, about Ato's hero mode, yeah, it's busted. She gets stronger the longer she exists. That's not strategy, that's a cheat code. She's basically a walking endgame DLC pack with heels and anime hair. Everyone else, level 12. Ato, level 999, with passive XP regen and plot armor so thick, not even nukes would dent it. And just when you think this empire couldn't get more OP, the water in their land literally makes evil people stronger. Like, imagine drinking smart water and suddenly becoming a god. But only if you've committed at least one war crime. That's the kind of ecosystem we're dealing with here. As the episode ends, the Qualia squad is finally advancing toward the Dark Continent, cutting down goblins like they're weeds on sale. But little do they know, this ain't your average forest dungeon. They're stepping into a cursed Costco full of magical bioweapons, overpowered waifus, and one emotionally repressed king who accidentally built the best civilization by just being nice and socially awkward. So the question now is, can Soalina's Holy Squad handle this new empire? Or are they gonna end up crying into a flesh tree while Ato kicks their face in? Stay tuned, evil's never looked this polite.